When Caliph Umar first entered Jerusalem, he took control of the Holy City without spilling a single drop of blood. 400 years later, Crusaders breached those exact same walls and slaughtered nearly 100,000 Muslim and Jewish citizens in a matter of days. The Crusader army was a disorganized, poorly supplied coalition that marched into a vacuum created by decades of internal regional conflict. The 11th century Islamic world was tearing itself apart. Rival powers, the Seljuks and Fatimids, were locked in an exhausting war for control over Palestine. When internal rivals weaken their neighbors, borders crumble. Jerusalem's loss was the result of a collapsed internal immune system. While foreign armies marched toward the coast, a shadow network of terror was rotting the empire from the inside. They were the Hashashin, the assassins. They avoided open battlefields to focus on the highest ranks of society. A general or political leader who opposed them might wake up to find a dagger pinned to his pillow, a final warning before he was killed in the night. This constant threat paralyzed the political structure. Every commander was terrified of his own shadow. Internal paranoia consumed the society. Political sabotage destroyed their ranks. Defending the borders became completely impossible. Domestic rot paved the way for the foreign conquest of the Holy City. It took a young commander named Salahudin Ayyubi to recognize that the Crusaders could not be expelled by a warring coalition. Mentored by Sultan Nuruddin Zengi, Salahudin realized that unity was the only viable weapon. Before aiming his sword at a crusader, he spent years consolidating power across Egypt and Damascus. He relied on diplomacy and strategic positioning to force rival governors to surrender, specifically avoiding the further shedding of Muslim blood. This rapid unification made him a target. After surviving multiple assassination attempts by the Hashashin, Salahuddin systematically dismantled their mountain strongholds, securing his empire's rear flank before moving toward Jerusalem. Salahuddin's foundational success proves that military victory requires curing political rot first. He unified the disparate factions under one banner, creating an army capable of facing Europe. With a newly united front, Salahuddin mobilized his forces toward the coast. Waiting for him was a massive Crusader army, led by the aggressive and arrogant warlord Reynaud. Salahuddin utilized the geography of the Horns of Hattin to his advantage, luring the heavy European knights into the open expanse during the scorching July heat. Salahuddin positioned his army to block the Crusaders' only path to the local water supply, forcing the heavily armored knights into severe dehydration. Parched and exhausted, the Crusader forces launched a desperate, disorganized attack. Salahuddin's fresh, organized troops easily encircled and decimated them. Following the victory, Salahuddin personally executed Reynaud as punishment for war crimes and religious insults. However, he immediately offered mercy and water to the captured Crusader king, demonstrating a strict code of conduct, the path of amnesty. He granted full protection to the Christian residents, following the historical examples of the Prophet Muhammad and Caliph Umar. When many poor captives could not afford the tax to leave the city, Salahuddin used his own personal wealth to buy their freedom, ensuring thousands of families could depart in safety. The ultimate display of power was not vengeance, but the restoration of coexistence. This act of mercy elevated Salahuddin to a legendary hero, even in the eyes of his European enemies. That stability lasted for centuries, until the Ottoman Empire began to fracture. By World War I, the weakened empire aligned itself with Germany, overextending its remaining resources. The overextended Ottoman Empire lost Palestine to the British, a defeat that mirrored the initial Crusader conquest from centuries ago. The language of that ancient conflict surfaced again in the modern era, with Western leaders explicitly using the term crusade for modern Middle Eastern conflicts. The map remains fractured, echoing the same vulnerabilities that once let the Crusaders through the gates. With history repeating the pattern of division and conquest, the region continues to wait for a leader who can unify the pieces.